speak publicly. This was during my academic life. And one of the lessons that I learned is like a beatitude. Namely, blessed are they who have nothing to say and have the good sense not to say it. I should have taken that to heart, because I really have nothing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want to repeat what Ruth has done, and to thank you all for coming. You've come from here and there and everywhere, from Toronto and from Florida and from Poughkeepsie, and even, I was going to say, even from as far away as Demarest. And it's marvelous that you've come and made this, for us, make it such a nice evening, and I'm very, very grateful to you. But it's our 50th wedding anniversary, and I think I want to explain how Frohma and I met. The gentleman who's seated opposite me, Mike Solby, invited the two of us. Frohma and I knew, by sight. We went to high school together, the three of us, and I knew Frohma by sight, but never knew her. But Mike invited us to his house for dinner one night. He was going off to be a student at the University of Vermont, and this was, I guess, Mike, it must have been late August or early September. And Frohma was there, and Mike asked me to do him a favor. He had to fly up to Vermont the next day. And would I please escort Frohma home? She lived in the Bronx as I did. And I was only too happy to do that. Frohma was a very nice person, and here was a chance to take a very beautiful young woman back to her apartment in the Bronx. And so we took the train, the Lexington Avenue, up to 161st Street, and walked across the park, and sat down in the park at the foot of Anderson Avenue, and talked. And I'm getting emotional. The conversation began, and that's when I got her phone number. That slip of paper, I wrote it down that evening, and it began a conversation which has continued. Well, it's more than 50 years that I've been lucky enough to be married to Frohma. And she's just been super, super. And in the course of those 50 years, I've learned some things. I want to tell you a couple or 3 or 4 or 5 of the things that I've learned over these 50 years. One is to be organized. And so I have notes that I've prepared, and let me see. One of them, it says, buy kohlrabi, get cheese. No, that's the shopping list. That's not the list. The list I want is this list. Yeah, and one of the things about being organized is having reading glasses. Now, these are lessons that gentlemen should learn in order to have a good marriage. One of them is make sure that you make and take the shopping list when you're sent out to do the shopping.
Correct.
A second is never make a pun. Third is never leave your socks under the bed. Crucial to a good marriage, always take the tissues out of your stuff before you put it into the laundry.
Please.
And fundamental is remember to put down the toilet seat. Lastly, guys, there is the 50-50 rule. If you think you've got a 50-50 chance of being right, it's a 90% probability that you're wrong. Thanks for being here. And let me not forget, the gentleman who's been playing the guitar in the corner so beautifully is Seth Himmelhoek, and I think he deserves our applause for what he's done. Thank you very much.